How does paganism influence folk horror films? Imagine stepping into a world where the land itself seems alive, whispering secrets from ancient times. That's the core of how pagan beliefs shape folk horror movies. Folk horror is all about rural settings, isolated communities, and old traditions. When paganism enters the picture, it adds a layer of mystery and primal fear rooted in pre-Christian practices. These films often show secretive cults, blood rituals, and seasonal festivals inspired by real pagan customs, but exaggerated for effect. The theme of the other is central. These communities live apart from modern society, holding onto beliefs that seem strange or threatening to outsiders. This separation makes the horror more intense because it feels like stepping into a world where the rules of civilization no longer matter. The land is portrayed as powerful and sometimes hostile, almost a character itself, demanding respect or blood sacrifices. Characters in folk horror films often include charismatic leaders or priests who perform rituals that seem both alluring and dangerous. These figures embody the pull of ancient beliefs, guiding their communities through ceremonies that outsiders find terrifying. The protagonists are usually outsiders like travelers or investigators who stumble into these worlds and get caught up in the rituals, often too late to escape. Women often play complex roles, sometimes as victims, sometimes as women with power, especially in relation to fertility and life cycles. The setting is vital. Remote villages, dense forests, and ancient landmarks are not just scenery but active parts of the story. These locations are charged with the energy of old gods and forgotten grudges. Folk horror films often include folk music, seasonal festivals, and rustic aesthetics that connect the story to pagan traditions. The passage of time is marked by solstices, equinoxes, and harvests, linking human life directly to nature's cycles. Filmmakers use pagan symbols like fire, masks, and chanting to create a sense of unease and mystery. Rituals are staged visually striking, emphasizing the clash between modern life and ancient practices. The horror comes from the fear of losing control to forces beyond understanding, rooted in these old beliefs. Some critics point out that paganism in these movies is often shown as sinister or dangerous, sometimes reinforcing stereotypes of pagan groups as violent or sexually deviant. This portrayal can be misleading, but it works well for building suspense and fear. The unknown nature of pagan rites and their connection to the land make them perfect symbols of primal terror. In the end, paganism's influence on folk horror films is fundamental. It provides the mythology, the atmosphere, and the sense of ancient power that makes these stories so unsettling. These movies reminded us that old beliefs and traditions still hold sway, and sometimes, they're best left undisturbed.